Welcome. So before we get started with meditation today, I wanted to mention a way that we can work with discontent. So the word discontent, I'm using this as a rough translation of the word dukkha, coming out of Pali and Sanskrit, which can also be translated as suffering, but that also can be a bit of an extreme translation, conjuring up, horrific images in our mind. But really, it means a sense of unease, discontent, dissatisfaction, really that what is being experienced is a little bit off what we'd want it to be. Could we have it our way? And how natural it is, for us to, in a world that we can't control, to navigate it and to compare what's going on with our preferred view. So feelings arise, which can be difficult to work with, just the physicality of the feeling and the mental state of the feeling can just be simply hard to sit with. But what can make things harder, and what really can be going on a lot of the time, is that we amplify our feelings of discontent or dissatisfaction by personalizing them. Like, am I ever going to get out of this? Or will this feeling come to an end soon? An autobiographical reference around the feeling, which makes us identify with it, and it makes it stickier. Instead of the feeling able to just come and go by its own course, once we get our hooks into it, it's a little bit harder. So in meditation, we can work to identify feelings, whether they be pleasant or whether they be ones that hold discontent, and dereference the I from them. And so we're not particularly looking to make ourselves feel better, although this may happen and it may not happen, but we're looking to lessen the energy that we put towards the feelings, and I'm speaking particularly about uneasy feelings here. Giving them less energy, less reverberation, so things can just flow and move on as they should. So this is sometimes known as dukkha, where there's a feeling of discontent, but we add suffering to it by the way we identify with it. So instead of identifying with the feeling, we're going to just take one step back and identify it. Identify the feeling. And know that that is not me, even though that feels like me in this moment. And speaking of difficult feelings, but it's equally worthwhile to do this with pleasant feelings too, because if we get our claws into the pleasant feelings and identify with those as well, as soon as they begin to shift, we are in a space of dukkha and discontent. So you can work with what arises, of course. Please work with what arises today. We'll be working to identify a feeling, like there is restlessness, or there is comfort, or there is rumination, or there is softness. So it's not I am, there is, and we break the dukkha or the sukha if you're looking at the pleasant side, and just make it what it is on its own. So we can feel the feeling. It can come and it can go. Okay. So find comfort. Find a place that you can be still. A place that you feel quite neutral. So bring your hands down to your legs, lap, or if you're lying down, that would be on the ground. So you can receive some support from the firmness of the ground or your thighs and lift up through the center of your chest, creating a soft length to your spine. Let your eyelids be heavy. This may cause your eyes to close partially or all the way. And then soften your jaw. So there comes a space in your mouth between your tongue and upper palate, sealed in the front by a light connection between your tongue and the back of your top front teeth. So, let's find the breath. Notice the movement of breath. Maybe the breath is experienced most around your belly or your chest. Or your nostrils. So the breath holds no bias towards what is pleasant or unpleasant. It creates an open field where anything can arise with no preference. And without changing the breath at all, just by being aware of how it is, let this hold space for you to observe how this feels. What feelings are here? You may notice a feeling in your body. Part of your body may feel grounded or relaxed. But there also may be parts of you that feel more constrained. Whatever you notice to arise in the experience of your body, notice it in a way that sounds like there is, there is. So your relationship with it can be just like your relationship with the breath. There's no preference. This can be quite handy if you encounter discomfort or pain in your body. Sometimes we add to the discomfort, dukkha, in our reaction to it. When you take a moment and allow the space to notice something for what it is, there's a softening of the reactivity. And your breath, ever present. Notice again how it feels to breathe. And in your mental space, you may notice sometimes a feature, the experience of mind that feels pleasant, like you'd want this kind of thought to stick around. And sometimes a thought can hold an edge that feels less pleasant. And to this experience too, so we can separate from the reaction. Just notice the mental experience for what it is. There is a pleasant thought, or there is desire, or there is an unpleasant thought. And then try to leave it alone by noticing your breath again. feeling doesn't need to go anywhere or be any different. But instead of putting your energy back in towards it, just notice your breath instead. Thank you for your practice. Namaste.